dangerous zombie. Gashacon! Level up! Mighty jump, mighty kick, mighty action! I get you! Danger, danger! This crisis, dangerous zombie!
Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, SHF Kamen Rider Genm Zombie Action Gamer Level X-0. So, back in when X-Aid was still on the early series, and when I first saw Genm transform into his zombie gamer mode, which at the time was level 10, and I saw this design, and I immediately fell in love with the design. The exoskeleton mech suit kind of style concept was very cool, and the fact that I believe there, in the previous series, there has never been a zombie concept Kamen Rider, as far as I know, and this was really cool to me. So. At the time, I knew they were going to make an SHF figure arts out of it, but it did actually happen in P-Bandai. But at the time, I was also a student, didn't have any money, so I had to pass on. But later, after a few part-time jobs, I was trying to get the previous version, which is it's the exact same mold, but instead of this gamer driver, it had the buckle driver. And weapon-wise, it also had the gashacon Sparrow, which came with the Kamen Rider laser. So after a few part-time jobs, and then once I had the money, this thing, I was trying to get the previous version, but it was really popular, so a lot of places were either sold out or selling in a very, very high price. So I had to pass on, but later they announced this version, which came out later in the series. Genm kind of was gone, and then he came back, and I immediately got it, and it was the time when my YouTube ad revenue came in, so yeah, we finally have the figure. So as I mentioned, this figure should be the exact same mold, or should have the exact same articulation as the previous one, but since I don't have that, this will be a full-fledged review. Alright, so just in case, here is the box. Here's the box on the back, very cool looking box, and we have some description on the back and some certain like demonstration poses. So that's nice. Let me put that away. So other than, let's go over components. So first of all, I am currently using the fist hands on the figure on left and right. So and there we have the gamer driver obviously on the waist, and here are the rest of the components. Not as much as you think. So as I mentioned, the previous version came with the gashacon Sparrow. This one comes with the gashacon Breaker sword mode. So this weapon originally belongs to, or was first seen used by Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, the main character. Which originally this can turn into a hammer, but also a sword. So you don't actually get the hammer, you only get the sword, but still better than nothing. And then let's see what we got for hands. So we get 6 type of hands in total, including the ones that I'm currently using, the fist. So other than the fist, we have 5 more sets of hands. So number 1, we get this pointing style hand, which kind of also looks like some sort of a trigger finger hand, but still I think this is because of the gashacon Sparrow. They also gave the exact same hands for those weapons, so that's just my guess. But if this hand also does have a different use, do let me know. And as you can see, the hands are in different colors because like the left hand is in silver and the right hand is in black and white. So that's also a pretty good design, because sometimes it does get a little confusing with like which hand you're supposed to use. Okay, so and then we have these type of hands, which I like to call the rock-on hands. But sometimes again, when he's fine, he does this hand pose. He does this with his fingers a lot. So we also get a set of those, pretty nice. And I really like the sculpt on this, and they did an excellent job on the coloring as well. And then here we have more of the open style hand, but for a specific pose, he's doing like the claw hand type of finger. So very nice done. Very nicely done, and the metallic silver looks very good. And then here we have your natural open style hands. Nothing too special about these. We have these are pretty much standard in any figures at this point. And then finally we have the multi-purpose hands, which is pretty much meant for holding the weapons. Alright, and let's see what we got. So let's see. Let me get off the base and see what we got. So once again, really loving design. It has that, while it is a zombie concept, but it does. I also really like the this biological mecha suit kind of design going on here overall. All right, so let's look at the head. So I've heard a lot of negative comments regarding like SHF figure arts of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid series in general. But I really don't know why, because I haven't seen any parts that I really hate too much. Granted, the only ones I have was Kamen Rider Laser at this point, but still, that one was pretty a oddball design, so I have really not much to say. But this one looks pretty amazing, so I'm not sure what the negative comments were about. So looking at the head, you can see one side is actually covered with a red visor, the other one is actually like broken, and you can see the eyes on the inside. So that's a very nice touch, and you can see actually the cracks going on here on the broken area. So very nice design going on there. And then the head can go down that much, up that much, and then 360 once again not exactly possible because you know, kind of a human body inside there. Sorry about that. So one thing I'm having a little bit issue is that these parts on the front, they tend to move. This one hasn't popped out, but this one on this side kind of popped out a few times, so I might need to glue that on or maybe change the position a little bit so I can have less trouble. Alright, so and then the head can go down, up as well. Before we go to the arms, let's just look at the back. So look at the back. When this form was first shown in the series with the ball driver, they showed the back shot first, and that looked very cool. Now this one on the figure is kind of lacking, but I personally think it's just because this is lacking some panel lining. So if you actually add some panel lining onto the silver area as well, it will look pretty much good as the that we saw in the show. Alright, just wanted to mention that out. And then let's get the arms. So the arms, I believe on this side, in this form, it kind of was emitting smoke. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So the arms can go, each arm has a different shoulder armor, so I'll have to show you guys both. But pretty much, you can see they can reach out about 90 degrees to the side almost identically. And then they both have the typical 360 twist on the arms. And then we have a nice bend going on here. The problem is, this side of the arm is very stiff for some reason, so I'm not really sure why it's so stiff than the other side, but still very nice. And we still have your typical SHF style hand, which the ball joint is on the arm, not on the hand. And 360 on the arm is also possible going on here, and you can see the shoulders are also once again on the inside are connected with ball joints on the inside. And the shoulders do have your still forward and backward movement going on here due to how the connection works in here. Okay, now before we go to the legs, let's look at the waist for now. So the waist, we have the gamer driver. We have, I believe this is supposed to be a sticker. Yeah, this is a sticker. I believe that inside is also a sticker here. Now, I mentioned this on my laser review, but how should I say this? Let's see. These parts on here, they don't have any stickers, so they may look a little bit bland. And if you take them out, I'm just gonna take out both. They do not have the silver piece on the top, so yeah. So that is one aspect that this figure series has been taking a little bit on the downside, but still, oh well. But because of this aspect, you can still plug it into the belt or on the side of the belt where you can do the finisher Rider King move, or on the weapons as well. So the gashocons are a little bit on the lacking side, especially the fact that they don't have their stickers on the handle area. It is one aspect, but I have heard that there are some third-party companies making stickers for these as well. Alright, let me just move those away so I don't drop them. Okay, so for the main body waist, I forgot to mention, you do have a very nice kind of an ab crunch going on here as well. And then you can move to side about that much. I mean, if I force it, obviously I can go 360, but once again, I don't want to have the thing where on my last review the belt went inside the body, so I don't want that happening. Alright, on the legs you can see all these color adds going on, and they are very clean. So you can see like this black and white colors going on here. And then so the leg wise, we can go forward about 90 degrees, and then back not so much because of the way how the design is, so you have to move a little bit to the side. And we have a nice side swivel going on here, and you can move to the side, not so much in this case, because once again these parts are blocking the way. And I believe these round parts, I believe I had one of them fall off, this one, and I believe that is a ball jointed connection, or at least that one was one of them was. So yeah. So one thing that when this figure was announced, one aspect of this figure where everybody was worried about was this part. Right, this part. So because of the design here, we had this section right over here, and the Vogel driver did not have any problems because it did not have any extra attachments on the side. So this one does look a little bit iffy on me. So they just kind of forced it on, and it's still working pretty well, but still because of this aspect, the arms do collide with this part a lot, so just be aware of it. And yeah, and the legs did not really go up that much at the first place, so you don't need to worry about here. It's actually because it's actually colliding with the round part right over here. But other than that, it's still good, high quality, and then you can bend the legs like these as much as possible. And then we have your nice pivot going on here, very nice pivot, and once again metallic silver feet. I mean color-wise, not actually the material. And then we have a nice toe bend going on here. And let me just check one thing, and you can rotate the feet or ankles if you want to call it, but still, you get my idea. Alright, so we've seen the basic articulation. So it is lacking a little bit on the legs, like going to the side, and then articulation is slightly hindered by the belt, the side of the belt, but still it's a quality-wise, it's a very well done figure. Like the color has been cleanly implemented, and I do like the fact that like the head here actually has a visor in front of the eyes, and even on the chest. I forgot to mention the chest. I believe there is also a clear piece on top of the inside there. So the inside, I'm pretty sure they just added a sticker and then they applied a clear plastic piece with some crack engravings on there. So once again, very nice detail. Okay, so we've seen the basic articulation, so I'll be right back with the equipment demonstration, which isn't too much, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So the demonstration is not too much of a big deal because it's pretty much like it's just a sword. So you just pretty much hold it in your hand with the multi-purpose hand and you're pretty much good to go. But there's some stuff I would like to mention. Number one, as I mentioned, you are able to put the gashots in any other slots other than the belt. So on the side we have this part which we can do the finisher move. I was able to attach it here. Once again, the hole here is a little bit small, so you need to really struggle to get it in perfectly. But once again, once you have it in, it's gonna stay there as well. It's not gonna fall off that easily. I don't think you are able to slot the gashots on the orange sections right over here because there's no plastic piece on the top or the clear plastic like in the show. So yeah. So these parts, orange parts, for those who didn't see the series, are basically extra slots to pretty much carry around extra gashots with you. So yeah, kind of a useless detail or part in terms of on the SHF figure, because once again, there's no way we can actually slot these in. And then on the weapon as well, on this black section on the back, where there's a slot to put in the gashot as well, I decided to do that. And pose-wise, I tried to do the pose where he's actually putting it in as well. So yeah. You are able to pretty much do anything as much as possible, other than like some extra limitations such as the gashots, storing the gashots right over here, but still very nice detail going on here. So articulation wise, as I mentioned, it's pretty superb because it's pretty much a standard SHF figure art at this point. And then also yeah, the only part that's hindering is the sides and the limitations of the legs. So also one thing I would like to mention is that I am having a little bit of troubles making this figure stand on its own sometimes, because I believe the feet is not 100% flat, because only the back side is flat and the front section is kind of tilted up. But I believe this side of the feet does not have that problem, so it could be only my issue, but just be aware of it as well. So anyway, that's pretty much it for the review. So anything other pose you can see or you want to do from the show, you are pretty much able to pull it off, because once again, top-notch quality figure. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Genm Zombie Action Gamer Level X-0. By the way, X-0 stands for actually like a Proto Zero kind of thing. So in the later of the series, it does get a little bit confusing, but just keep that in mind. Anyway, if you guys got any questions or requests, you can comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.